welcome to yet another episode of Friday Night Chill with Will. I'm Will, and I hope you guys have been having a good week. Mine has been semi-chaotic, I suppose would be a way to describe it. I've been covering for a coworker that was on vacation this week, so I pretty much went into work at a different time every day this week. It was a lot, but we made it to the end of the week, and everything will be back to normal next week. So that's why if you're catching the premiere of this episode, it's being posted a little bit later than normal. But I did want to still get an episode up for you guys this week. So here we are. But yeah, other than that, we're good. We are fine. And I wanted to get on here tonight to just kind of begin touching on something that we could probably delve deeper down the line into, if depending on how interested you guys would be in that. And that would be irrational fears. And an irrational fear I have had for definitely my entire adult life. I think it probably has always been a thing, but I just remember it being very prominent in my adult life, is having men touch my hair when I get my hair cut. It is just a thing I don't like. I don't like the vibe of like barber shops and stuff, places where mostly straight men congregate, and I've just never appreciated, I don't know, like I guess the culture surrounding it. It just feels hyper masculine for no fucking reason, and it just feels needlessly intimidating. And as a queer kid, I was just always so uncomfortable whenever I would go, because as a kid, my mom would always take me to a barber shop to get my hair cut. And then eventually she just started cutting my hair herself, which that's enough trauma to fill a completely different episode. But so I would go there as a kid, and it was just not an environment I enjoyed being around. I did not like it at all. But adversely, an environment I did enjoy being around was going to the salon with my mom when she would go, because she would go like once a month and get her hair, done, dyed, and, whatever she felt like doing that time. It was usually the same thing. My mom is very much a creature of habit. But I just remember feeling so much more comfortable in that type of environment. Obviously it's mostly women in those spaces, like a salon. So it's just very different, and it just feels way more welcoming than straight men. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just the assumption that straight men can be homophobic at the drop of a dime, but it's just weird. I don't feel that type of welcoming in an environment whenever I've gotten my hair cut by men. I tried probably like in my early to mid 20s. I tried going to this one guy that one of my old high school teachers recommended. It was like an old student of his. And, he was local, so I thought, oh yeah, cool, this ought to be fun. We'll try this out, whatever. And I go, and I went a couple times because, I really wanted to like try it out and like see if like, because I think when you're getting your hair cut, and especially if you're like someone like me who has a specific plan for your hair, I think it's always a good idea to be going to the same person. So that way that person and you can have some sort of rapport in terms of like what you're doing with your hair and what your goals with it are, and how you would like to end up looking, essentially. I think it's good to get like a regular, thing going with someone. And so I wanted to try doing that. And so that's what that was. And I couldn't vibe with it. It just didn't feel right. I just could not relax in the way that I usually can when getting my haircut. Because for me, getting my haircut is just like my me time where I just can like chill out, do something nice for myself and, be done with it. But I don't know. It's not like the dude was mad. It was mean to me or anything like that. The dude wasn't. He didn't do anything. He literally didn't do anything except do his job, and he did a pretty good job with it. I was not disappointed the 2 times I went to him to go get my haircut, but it was just a thing where I just could not get comfortable with someone with a man cutting my hair. It just did not vibe with me. Now, I will say, I don't know if this could be remedied if the person cutting my hair was a gay man. I'm guessing it would probably help. So I'm sure that could be a way of fixing that, but I could not even begin to tell you where a gay barber would even be working. And then again, I haven't really looked. So, so I got recommended this queer barber pretty close by, not too far, and decided to check her out. It was a woman, and she was queer, and so I was like, okay, that's like a double whammy. That's perfect. And so I made the appointment, and I get it all set up for tomorrow. I know I said I was getting my haircut last week, but I lagged, and so I couldn't make the appointment in time. So I made the appointment for tomorrow, and everything was like set and good, and I was happy. I was like, all right, cool, this is gonna be exciting. We can finally get some shape going on in this mullet that I'm trying to do again. And then I get an email today, like the day before, and it's just like reconfirming all the stuff. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. But then like I looked at the thing again, and it had the stylist's name before, and it changed to a guy. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And so I looked back on the app to try and like rebook something, and I guess like she must have had something happen, and so she had to have people cover her appointments. And so now I'm just feeling like super annoyed and unnecessarily nervous about tomorrow, because like I feel like my haircut's gonna get fucked up now, because I'm gonna get some guy who can do a fade no problem, but when it comes to adding any kind of other shape into hair, they just don't know how to fucking listen to you, which has been my experience with some other men who have cut my hair in the past. And so yeah, there is some legitimate ill will there. It isn't just like totally just a mind game that I've like done with myself. There has been some legitimate ill will formed, because there's been a few times where men have cut my hair and they just did not fucking listen to me when I was talking to them, and ended up doing something totally different than what I was describing to them. And I'd like to think I'm pretty precise with the terminology that I use and for what exactly I want. But for whatever reason, a couple times I did that, they had me looking insane. And that just did not help. So now we got this thing going on tomorrow, and something I was like honestly really looking forward to, and now it's just like, all right, well, I hope I can get through this whole experience, without looking like a clown. So, we'll see. Ultimately, I'm going to do it, and I know I don't have to go. I can just cancel the appointment, but I don't want to deal with any of the logistical stuff of finding another place and, rescheduling an appointment or any of that, or doing a walk-in type of thing, especially on a Saturday. I just want to get this done, and I am just going to suck it up and go and deal with it as much as I don't want to. But yeah, it's just really annoying. And it couldn't have been like the second haircut after like we just had like the initial one, because this is like the one that like lays the groundwork to how things are going to be looking, for the foreseeable future. And it's annoying. It's just annoying. It's just an annoying little thing. And, I would rather go and just like be proven wrong, because I could be proven wrong. Maybe the guy I get tomorrow is totally receptive to everything I'm saying, because it sounds like I'm talking down to these, to men in this field of work. And like, it's not that I think that. It's just I'm very particular with what I want. And I feel like just a lot of straight men aren't as particular, because a lot of them just want some variation of a fade, and they're good for like a month or 2 weeks or whatever. I've heard of men getting their hair cut like once a week, which is insane. Your hair does not grow that fast. But yeah, so it's just, I'm very particular about what I want done. And so I just want to make sure it's being done by someone who's just receptive to what the fuck I'm saying, and isn't just gonna like hear the first 5 seconds of what I'm saying and then just like wing it for the rest. That's all. But we're gonna find out tomorrow. So if you would like to follow me on any social media platform, I'm sure I'm going to be posting selfies afterwards, so you can see what the results of this are going to be, and how pissed off I will be next week when I record an episode. But yeah, you can follow me anywhere on the internet at WillieJCo for all that. So I think we'll cap the episode right there. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight, you guys. If you have any irrational fears of your own, why don't you go ahead and leave those down in the comments section below. I'm interested to hear, what you guys think about in terms of like irrational fears. And if you guys enjoyed the episode, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe so you can see new episodes when they come out every Friday. And if you are listening to this on Apple Music or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, because I don't know if Apple Music has podcasts. Is it a separate app? Someone tell me in the comments. I don't know. If you're listening on any of those platforms, please rate and review the podcast. If you feel so inclined, I would appreciate it. And I think that's going to be about it for this week. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight, you guys. And I will see you next week for another Friday Night Chill.